Vietnam has faced one of the most intense weather events in recent years. Typhoon Kalmaegi, categorized as a super typhoon, made landfall in the central region of the country, unleashing chaos, destruction, and a national emergency. What began as Tropical Storm 13 in the South China Sea transformed into an atmospheric beast that brought entire provinces to their knees. Since dawn, torrential rains and wind gusts have relentlessly battered coastal areas, sweeping away homes, infrastructure, and crops. The sound of the wind has been deafening, and the unstoppable water has turned avenues and entire towns into raging rivers. Scenes of destruction are repeated along the central coast, as thousands of people seek refuge in higher ground, fleeing the advancing floodwaters. The sea has unleashed its fury with waves exceeding 6 meters that have violently battered the coastlines of Quang Ngai, Binh Dinh, and Phu Yen. In a matter of hours, breakwaters gave way to the ocean's onslaught, leaving boats sunk, piers destroyed, and ports paralyzed. Fishermen who managed to reach safety recounted how the sea roared like never before, sweeping away everything in its path. The typhoon arrived with sustained winds of up to 180 kilometers per hour, reaching even stronger gusts in the most exposed areas. The most fragile structures could not withstand it. Tin roofs, power poles, and trees were toppled by the force of the wind. In coastal cities, electricity has been completely cut off, leaving thousands in darkness as the water continues to rise. Kalmaegi has demonstrated an unexpected ferocity, even for the experts. Its passage through the South China Sea rapidly intensified, fueled by warm waters and favorable atmospheric conditions. In just 24 hours, it went from a tropical storm to a severe typhoon, exceeding initial forecasts and complicating preventative efforts in central Vietnam. In the provinces of Da Nang and Quang Nam, rainfall totals have surpassed 400 millimeters in less than a day, overwhelming drainage systems and triggering landslides in mountainous areas. Entire roads have been blocked by mud, while local forces attempt to clear essential routes to allow the entry of humanitarian aid. The 13th storm, which had made landfall in Vietnam days earlier with less intensity, had left the ground completely saturated, increasing the risk of flooding when Kalmaegi arrived with full force. This combination has proven devastating. Rivers have overflowed their banks, and dams are under extreme pressure. Authorities have ordered the evacuation of more than 250,000 people in coastal regions, particularly in Quang Tri, Thua Tien Hue, and Da Nang. Shelters are overflowing, and shortages of food and drinking water are beginning to worry isolated communities. Images coming from the ground show scenes of desperation. Entire families wading through the water, carrying children and belongings on their heads. In the city of Hue, the water level has reached 2 meters in some neighborhoods, and traffic has come to a complete standstill. Rescue teams are using makeshift boats to transport residents trapped in their homes. The rains are relentless, and visibility is minimal due to the thick curtain of water. Da Nang International Airport has suspended all operations, and dozens of flights have been canceled or diverted. Ground transportation has also been disrupted, with sections of railway and main roads completely impassable. The collapsed power grid has left hundreds of thousands of homes without electricity, amid a climate of uncertainty. Rural areas, especially farming communities, have suffered incalculable losses. Rice fields and coffee plantations have been submerged, destroying weeks of work and severely impacting the local economy. The typhoon's fury has left behind an unrecognizable landscape, marked by mud, debris, and the silence that follows the storm. In Binh Dinh province, the Han and Khan rivers have exceeded warning levels, causing floods that have inundated entire neighborhoods. Aerial images show roofs barely visible above the muddy waters, while emergency teams redouble their efforts to reach those cut off. Local hospitals are working at full capacity, treating the injured and those suffering from hypothermia. Kalmaegi has maintained its intensity even inland, something unusual for these types of storms. Winds continue to blow strongly, and rainfall continues to raise reservoir levels. Meteorological authorities warn that the risk of landslides persists throughout the central region, especially in mountainous areas. In Quang Ngai, where the eye of the typhoon first made landfall, the destruction is almost total. Streets are covered in debris, downed power lines block roads, and wooden houses have been reduced to ruins. The stunned population surveys the damage with resignation as they try to salvage what little remains standing. The magnitude of the flooding has even surpassed the records of the last major typhoons to hit the country. Meteorologists emphasize that the interaction between Kalmaegi and Tropical Storm 13 has generated a phenomenon of widespread and concentrated rainfall, amplifying the impacts of both systems. In the coming hours, the typhoon will continue moving northwest, gradually weakening as it enters mountainous terrain, but the rains will persist. The northern provinces are now preparing for the storm's final onslaught, while rescue teams continue working under extreme conditions. Schools, government offices, and public services will remain closed until further notice. The priority is restoring electricity and ensuring water supplies in shelters, where thousands of people are waiting for the rains to subside. In the city of Da Nang, the scenes are devastating. Avenues transformed into rivers, cars floating adrift, and trees uprooted. Residents say they have never seen anything of this magnitude, even after years of being accustomed to typhoon season. Water has reached the interiors of buildings that have never flooded before.
Con mình ngay lúc này là không nên di chuyển ra đường nha, và sẽ có cán bộ nếu mà nghe trọng tâm đó.
In the mountainous regions of Kon Tum and Gia Lai, the rains have triggered landslides that have isolated entire villages. The situation is critical, as land access has been lost and communications are intermittent. Local authorities report that rescue is only possible by air, although weather conditions are complicating operations. Along the coast, dikes and seawalls have suffered severe damage. Engineers are working against the clock to reinforce them, fearing that further rains will cause breaches that will worsen the catastrophe. With each passing hour, the water level rises in the main rivers. Kalmaegi has also impacted the country's fishing industry. Hundreds of boats remain destroyed or stranded on the beaches, and the maritime sector is completely paralyzed. Economic losses are estimated in the millions of dollars, while commercial ports try to assess the extent of the damage. The psychological impact on the population is profound. Many of the evacuees report losing their homes for the second time in less than a week, after the passage of Tropical Storm 13 and now Typhoon Kalmaegi. The relentless rain, wind, and power outages have plunged thousands into a feeling of exhaustion and uncertainty. Forecasts indicate that even if the typhoon weakens, its remnants will continue to bring heavy rain for several days. Meteorologists have warned that river levels will take time to recede, so the risk of further flooding is high.